Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to get into something that pretty much everyone who's ever tried to learn a new language has experienced. We're going to uncover the hidden why behind the way languages are taught, basically peeling back the curtain on the philosophies that shape what happens in your classroom.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You spend months just memorizing verb charts, while your friend is out there from day one actually practicing how to order a coffee in fluent Spanish. It can feel totally random, but I promise you it is anything but.
See, the answer is that every single language teacher, every textbook, every app, they're all operating from a kind of hidden blueprint. It's a core set of beliefs about what language fundamentally is and how we humans actually learn it. And today, we're going to make that blueprint visible. So let's unroll this blueprint. Now, in the world of linguistics, this thing has a formal name. It's called the approach. And you can think of the approach as the master plan, the core philosophy that dictates literally everything else that's going to happen in that classroom. So an approach isn't just some casual idea. It's a powerful combination of deeply held theories. It's about language itself and about how our brains manage to pick it up. Seriously, think of it as the source code for every single teaching method out there. And it really all boils down to two fundamental questions. First, what do you believe language is at its very core? And second, how do you believe people actually learn it? The answers to those two questions, well, they create the entire foundation for everything.
Okay, so let's tackle that first belief, the nature of language. Do teachers see it as this rigid system of rules, kind of like an architectural blueprint? Or is it more like a practical set of tools in a toolbox, or something else entirely?
So first up, we've got the structural model. This is absolutely the blueprint view. It sees language as this perfectly organized system of building blocks. Sounds, words, sentences. The whole goal here is to master the rules that put all of these blocks together correctly.
And this is where you can really see the impact. If a teacher believes in this model, you better get ready for a lot of drills. This leads straight to methods like the audiolingual method, where you listen to a phrase, repeat it back over and over and over, just drilling those sentence patterns until they become second nature. The goal isn't to have a conversation, it's about pure, unadulterated mastery of the system. But then, there's a completely different way to look at it, the functional model. And this is the toolbox view. From this perspective, language isn't just a system of rules, it's a tool we use to get things done in the real world. Like ordering food, making new friends, or asking for directions.
And you can bet the classroom for this model looks totally different. This is where you find things like communicative language teaching. The main goal here is just to get your meaning across even if your grammar isn't perfect. It's all about successfully ordering that coffee, not about perfectly conjugating the verb to want.
And here you can see that fundamental shift, side by side. On the left, you have the blueprint. It's precise, it's rule-based, and it's all about accuracy. On the right, the toolbox. It's practical, it's purpose-driven, and it's focused on meaning. This wasn't just some academic debate. It was a real response to a changing world. As the world got more connected, people needed to actually use languages for things like travel and business, not just analyze them in a book. Of course, it's not just a simple two-sided story. Other fascinating models have popped up over the years. The interactional view, for example, sees language mainly as the glue for social relationships. The sociocultural view argues you just can't separate language from its social context. And then there's the lexical view, which suggests that we learn in chunks, common phrases and word pairings, not just one word at a time. All right, so let's move to the second part of our blueprint. We have a view of what language is, but how do we actually get it into our heads? How do we learn it? So one of the oldest and most influential theories is behaviorism. This is basically the muscle memory approach. It suggests we learn by forming habits. You hear a prompt, you give the correct answer, you get a little bit of positive reinforcement, and you just repeat that cycle until it's automatic. And in this model, mistakes are the enemy. They're seen as bad habits that have to be stamped out immediately.
Sound familiar? It should. This learning theory is the perfect partner for that structural view of language we were just talking about. You put them together, and what do you get? The audiolingual method, with its endless drills designed to build those flawless language habits.
But then, way on the other end of the spectrum, you have constructivism. And this is the team project view of learning. It says we don't just passively absorb knowledge, we actively build it. We construct our own understanding from our experiences and, this is the key part, through interacting with other people. So in a constructivist classroom, the teacher isn't standing at the front of the room like a drill sergeant. No, they're more of a facilitator, a guide. You're going to see a lot of group work,
projects, and problem solving, all designed to help students build their own understanding together. This is really the heart of methods like cooperative language learning. Okay, so we've looked at the two key ingredients, a theory of language and a theory of learning. So now for the magic moment, right? Let's put them together and see how a specific teaching method is actually born.
This is it. This is the formula. Just look at that top row. You combine the structural blueprint view of language with the muscle memory of behaviorism, and boom, you get audiolingualism. Now look at the second row. You combine the functional toolbox view with a learning theory that sees us as creative builders of knowledge, and you get communicative teaching. See? Each combination creates a totally different classroom reality.
Now, this isn't just some abstract theory. Understanding this blueprint can actually genuinely empower your own language learning journey. Let's talk about how.
Because here's the thing, no single method is perfect for every single person. Your own personality, how motivated you are, even how anxious you might get when you try to speak. These things are huge variables in the whole equation.
So I want you to just think for a second, which one of these learning theories really sounds like you? Are you the kind of person who really needs to understand the rules first before you feel comfortable speaking? Or do you learn best by just jumping in and figuring it out with other people? And once you know that, you can ask the most important question of all. What kind of classroom is going to help you thrive? Do you need one with clear structures and lots of drills? Or one with open-ended tasks and tons of group work? If you love patterns and logic, look for methods that explicitly teach grammar. But if you thrive on social energy, maybe search for conversation-focused classes or a language exchange part. Because at the end of the day, that's the real takeaway here. It's not about finding the one best method that exists out there. It's about finding the best method for you. Understanding the why behind the how, that gives you the power to find the right environment, the right teacher, and the right approach that truly unlocks your potential. And that is your learning superpower.